Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 2 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 2-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 1 minute from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 1-minute time check, stations.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield IMG College, this is Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder. Brought to you by Oak Knoll, an active life care community. Also brought to you by Bud Light. Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Hy-Vee. Save time and shop online with Hy-Vee Aisles Online. Go to HyVeeAislesOnline.com. Governor's Traffic and Safety Bureau by the Iowa Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau, who reminds you to click it or ticket day or night. And by U.S. Bank, helping individuals and businesses work toward their financial goals. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Now, here is your host, Rob Brooks.
Well, the Hawks are looking forward to getting back on the court tomorrow night against a very good Northwestern team. The Wildcats 8-3. That's inside Carver Hawkeye Arena. Good to be back in Iowa City, and that really starts off a busy week for Iowa women's basketball. At Minnesota on Sunday, and then a rescheduled game a week from tomorrow at Ohio State. That was, of course, a reschedule from the 19th of December, postponement. And the last time out, the Hawkeyes, it's been a while, the 18th of January, defeated Purdue in a hard-fought contest, 87-81. And welcome to Hawk Talk with Coach Lisa Bluder. We expect Coach to join us here momentarily. But the Iowa women, of course, did not play last week. Had 2 games postponed, one against 7-1 Maryland, and then also Rutgers at 1-3. So Iowa was going to go out and stay on the East Coast both Thursday night game against Maryland and then, of course, on Sunday against Rutgers, but did not make that swing out east, and hopefully we'll be able to make up those games at a later date. But the Hawkeyes are coming off a 87-81 victory against Purdue, and now stand at 9-3 and 5-3, and have had a little extra practice time. And Coach, you've been through this scenario before, weeks off during the season, and how did you use last week leading up to what'll be a busy week starting tomorrow night? So coming off a 87-81 victory against Purdue. We'll get some comments from Coach as we will fix some of our technical difficulties there, and remind you that Hawkeye basketball is brought to you by Bud Light. Whenever there is a Hawkeye game to watch, there is a Bud Light. We'll take our first break and hopefully be back with Coach Bluder after this on Hawk Talk.
Get your ice cold Bud Light seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer. IRC Beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hi, Hawkeye fans. Gary Dolphin here for UPS. Your customers want more from your business. You've got to make more happen, whether they're in Coralville or on the other side of the world. Globally or locally, UPS is building solutions to help businesses give their customers exactly what they want. More made easy. UPS, the official logistics company of Iowa Athletics.
Here in Iowa, corn is more than our livelihood. It's our way of life. We use it to feed our livestock, helping us raise healthy pigs, cows, and chickens. We use it to make ethanol, helping us power a prosperous, clean-burning future. We use it to nourish our families, helping us stay strong generation to generation. And the more we use it, the more it boosts our economy, helping elevate the lives of all Iowans. You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
This isn't a grilled cheese I'm making. It's a melty masterpiece that deserves a kitchen worthy of greatness.
Looks like my porch is full of packages again. It also looks like my compulsive buying needs to change to compulsive saving.
As I sit here on this couch, I decided to make some changes, starting with this couch.
I'd love to be looking out my window at a beautiful backyard instead of a brick wall. Time for a new house.
Whatever your passion, U.S. Bank can help turn it into your next pursuit. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Get ready for more. Introducing Hy-Vee Plus. Get a Hy-Vee Plus premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, you can call our Red Line hotline day or night for anything you need. Plus, free online delivery and free express pickup. Plus, a personal online shopper. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. Sign up today. Some restrictions apply.
Riverside Casino and Golf Resort loves a winner. You see it at every game. Play-by-play, everywhere you turn. Whether it's hitting the tables, spending time at your favorite game, or just relaxing, enjoying everything that Riverside Casino has to offer, you can bet we have something for everyone. So make every gameplay count. Your best bet is Riverside Casino and Golf Resort, located just 12 miles south of Iowa City on Highway 218. Let the games begin.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk. Appreciate everybody joining us here tonight. And don't forget, the folks on Facebook, if you have a question, you can leave it in the chat room for us, and we'll get it to Coach Bluder. That's youtube.com/Hawkeye Radio Network. And just click on the live video stream, leave your question in the chat room, or, of course, you can use the hashtag Hawk Talk on social media. Coach, hopefully we got our connection straightened away. Sorry about that, but just wanted to get your thoughts and the fact that you didn't have a game last week, how you used it in practice and maybe getting some rest, really gearing up for a very busy week starting tomorrow.
It is a busy week, but our players are excited about having the opportunity to get on the floor again. It's been a little bit of an unexpected break, but we, I think, made the most of it. One thing we did is take a couple of days off. They have not had a couple of days off in a row since Christmas, and so they got Friday and Saturday off. And, Caitlin Clark thinks it's because it was her birthday on Friday, but that's not really
well,
the case.
You can go with that, right?
So basically, we had a lot of time to prepare for Northwestern, which is nice. We spent 3 full days preparing for Northwestern. We usually only have 2. And then also we spent some time scrimmaging and working on ourselves and going through some game situations. So I thought it was a really productive week, and I personally like practice. So I kind of enjoyed it. I know the players will rather play and the coaches would rather coach, but that's the way it goes.
Yeah, and of course, with 3 games in 1 week, 2 of them on the road, and the Ohio State game that I mentioned the opening segment, postponed from December, now back on the schedule for next Thursday. So you were able at least to get this one in.
Yes, and we're optimistic we're going to get the Maryland game back as well. That wasn't a cancellation. It was a postponement, and we're doing everything we can. We have a proposed date right now. We need one other school in the Big Ten to just move one game, one day. If that happens, we will have both of those games replaced. The Rutgers game, I'm just not sure what's happening over there. Nobody's kind of heard anything out of that Rutgers camp, including the Big Ten. So we know they've been down for over 3 weeks. I don't know if they'll be back this year or not.
Yeah, they've only played 4 games so far, and it's been a long time. And you look at logistics and postponements of games and trying to reschedule, and it might seem somewhat easy on a surface, but boy, there's a lot that goes into it, too. When you get other teams involved, conference office, it just can't be an easy thing.
Well, it's not. But when we put our schedule together this year, we were going to play 20 games versus 18. We got 2 of those in December. So really we're playing 18 games, which we would normally be playing starting after Christmas. But we moved our conference tournament back a week. So we actually gave ourselves an extra week to get in those 18 games. So it gave us some automatic, empty times. Like next week, we were supposed to have really the whole week off. Well, now we put, instead of having the week off, we put Ohio State in there. So, I think the Big Ten did a good job of planning ahead and having some gaps where we'd be able to, manipulate the schedule a little bit and put those games in.
Well, that's good news, and to try to make up those games and to have that forward thinking and have some weeks off where you can slide in some games if needed.
Yes.
Well, let's go back and talk a little bit about that Purdue victory, because Purdue came in and played very, very well and got off to a great start after one period, led 21-17. You obviously had some terrific performances. Of course, Caitlin Clark had 26, McKenna Warnock 19 and 8, and shot the ball terrific, 5 for 5. Monica Sonato just missed a double-double with 12 points and 9 rebounds. But this was a 4-quarter basketball game.
It was. I thought it was a pretty enjoyable game myself. I thought that, and it seems like that was so long ago right now.
Right.
Sometimes I move on to the next one and I have a little bit hard time remembering the last one, especially when it was, about a week and a half ago. But I do remember that we were down 6, I believe 85-79 or something like that, or 7. Maybe I have that score wrong. But I know we were down 6 with 5 minutes. We called a timeout and changed up our defense. And I think it really inspired our kids. We came out, we got a stop right away, came down and got a score, got a stop and a score. All of a sudden it's a 1-point game. And now it's anybody's game with, quite a bit of time left. So I'm really proud of our team coming into that game, doing a good job getting to the free throw line, converting our free throws, and something we didn't do in the Ohio State loss is convert free throws. And, we're a good free throw shooting team, so that was very unusual.
Yeah, very good free throw shooting team. 25 of 31 against the Purdue Boilermakers. Caitlin Clark made some big ones down the stretch, 8 of 12. McKenna was 7 of 9. Monica hit a couple of big ones in the fourth quarter. And then you got Sharon Goodman 5 for 5 from the free throw line as well, as we take a look at some of the highlights.
Had a couple of, I think we had 3 good old-fashioned three-point plays in this game. I like those. We reward those in practice the next day because, to me, it's the best shot in basketball. You make the 2, you make the free throw, you draw a foul. 3 good things happen with 1 shot. And so I really enjoy the old-fashioned three-point play. I enjoy the new one, too, believe me. I say new. Isn't that makes me sound pretty ancient. But, I thought this was a fun bounce-back game, and it showed us, again, we can be down and battle back. And Purdue is a good team. Despite their record, they're a good basketball team, especially since they've gotten number 1, who you see on your screen right there, back. She's an outstanding three-point shooter. She's been a starter for them for 2 years. She's a senior and had ankle surgery in the offseason. They were going to redshirt her, but now since the year doesn't count anyway, they brought her back a few games ago, and she changes that team quite a bit.
Then Madison Laden, a freshman, I thought was sensational with 19.6 of 7 from the floor, but then you really clamped down on her in the fourth quarter especially.
Yeah, she was the freshman of the week this week in the Big Ten. Outstanding three-point shooter. Somebody we recruited, somebody we wanted, visited our campus, but she lives 45 minutes away from Purdue and ended up at Purdue. We knew she was capable of that. She hadn't shot quite that well. She was about a 33% three-point shooter coming into this game, and she felt it. She was in the zone. And, I think that maybe a little bit of respect from when we recruited her, when she visited our campus, had lunch with our players. Some of that comes back and gets you a little bit sometimes. But she has a coach for a mom, a coach for a dad, and so she's an excellent basketball player. And she got hot. And we definitely, I think, did a much better job in the fourth quarter of finding her and not letting her get – she basically made us come out of our zone. I mean, she single-handedly pretty much did that to us. And I went back and I looked at those films because I was furious at how many open shots she got. They weren't open shots. She was putting down some pretty contested. She hit 3 3-pointers from the deep corner with a hand in her face. So it's just one of those days where she just was feeling it, and we had to do something special against her defensively the fourth quarter, and our players responded with that.
Yeah, she was out there in Caitlin Clark territory, knocking down some 3-pointers. And you talk about the defense down the stretch, and you called that timeout, Coach. What did you change from a personnel standpoint or maybe a defensive standpoint that really spurred the Hawks on to victory?
Well, we went to a triangle and 2 defense, and one of those, we face guarded Madison Laden because we didn't want her to get any more of those threes that she was nailing. So we really kept the ball out of her hands. And then we also took advantage of their other 3-point shooter, number 1, and face guarded her. And I think our triangle and 2 was really good. We rebounded out of it very well. Rebounded Purdue again. I don't know how many games in a row now we've out-rebounded people. So I'm really pleased with our rebounding and particularly our defensive rebounding. So that's been pretty good. So I think it was just the change in defense that we had. And they knew it was coming because we did it to them last year. But at the same time, it's the last 5 minutes of a game, and all of a sudden a team changes defenses, and the other coach has to call timeout, and all of a sudden you can feel the momentum kind of swinging, especially on our home court. That's a tough thing. So I thought our team just did a really good job. Then I thought we did a good job of clock management on the off and really working for some good shots. And when we had the lead, 2 minutes left, really kind of milking the clock a little bit until they started playing the foul game.
It's got to make you proud, too, you and your staff, about how this young team handled pressure down the stretch, making sure you get the victory. Like you mentioned, down 6, not an easy situation to be in, but this team came through.
Well, especially coming off of 2 losses, right? I mean, we haven't lost 2 losses, had 2 losses in a row in a long, long time. I can't remember the last time, so I'm glad I can't remember it. I don't want to keep doing that. I don't want to remember those things. Especially with that kind of in the back of your mind, and Ohio State had beaten us on our home court in the last game. And so I'm proud of our young team. And again, we are a young team. And I have to kind of keep reminding myself of that fact, that we are a young team, that we're going to make young team mistakes. And but, boy, through this growth, and if we continue to learn from our mistakes, it's going to be a very good couple of years.
No doubt about that. Let's go to North Liberty and have Karin jump in the conversation. Karin, how are you this evening? Good.
Every time we had a storm, we also had a game. I don't know why, but that's what happened. And Lisa, will they be able to make up all the games we missed? Some are saying to dispense with the Big Ten tournament. What are your ideas on that? And Rob, do you follow the team and broadcast, or do you have to sit at home and broadcast? And good luck tomorrow, and go Hawks.
Rob, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, all home games inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, which is great. And we're actually doing the road games this year from a studio in Iowa City. So we've got multiple television screens. We get a live feed from the arena. Also have the television view as well, and we get some sound from the arena. So it's as good as it can be without being there. I'd love to be there. I'd love to be at all the games, but obviously with the COVID issues and things like that, the decision was made, men's games and women's games, of course, the Big Ten, not to travel. So that's kind of where we are right now, and hopefully that'll change sometime soon.
And we miss having Rob and Jamie travel with us.
Well, we miss it too. So, appreciate it.
We miss those times and look forward to next year when hopefully that will happen again. But Karin, as far as your question, we're making up, that was bad grammar, wasn't it? We are making up the Ohio State game next Wednesday. We are trying to make up the Maryland game, it's almost like that first week in March, but that's not solid yet. And the Rutgers game, we just don't know about. Again, we're not hearing much out of the Rutgers camp. We know they've been shut down for about 3 weeks, so I don't know if it's just running rampant through that program or what's going on, but they have so many games to make up that I doubt that ours will probably be made up. I can't imagine us going out there for 2 separate trips, once to Maryland, come back, once to Rutgers, come back. When they have so many games to make up, I think there's a lot of choices. And we've already played them once. There's some schools that haven't played them at all yet, so I'm sure that they'll try to make those up first.
Karin, appreciate it, and always listening every single week, so we always appreciate Karin when she checks in. And you talk about making up the games, too, and when you have a team or teams that are shut down, you start to look at the standings, Coach. You get some teams that have played 8 games, others 10 games in Nebraska's case, and also Wisconsin. And then you've got a team like Rutgers that obviously has a pretty tough situation with only 4 games. And, by the end of the year, there's going to be some pretty good disparity as far as how many games each team has played in conference.
There will be, and Ohio State had the shutdown, but they didn't miss too many Big Ten games with that shutdown, I don't believe, because it happened kind of over Christmas a little bit. So I think that Ohio State will make up most of their games. But, Ohio State's being held out of the Big Ten tournament and the NCAA tournament anyway this year with penalties, recruiting violations, and self-imposed violations or self-imposed penalties. So they will be in the Big Ten tournament anyway, down to third. Michigan is now in a shutdown as well. And so I don't know, again, when those games will be made up or when they're going to be coming back. And again, you don't know. It could happen to anybody, right? So you just play as many games as you can, and we'll try to figure it out at the end of the year. We're using the new net this year, not the RPI, for figuring out, seeds and who will be admitted to the NCAA tournament. It's not the only tool that the selection committee uses. They also use the eye test. They're watching as many games as they can. They're looking at conference standings. They're looking at overall standings, your strength of schedule, those type of things. But the Big Ten has the most teams ranked. They have 5 teams ranked in the top 25. We have 8 in the top 40 right now, including Iowa. And that's the most of any conference in America. So, again, the Big Ten Conference is looking like it is one of the toughest, if not the toughest conference in America. And we will get more teams in. I mean, we could get 6, 7 teams in easily this year. In my opinion, 7. I really believe we'll get 7 teams in the tournament this year if everybody's healthy by that time.
Yeah, and Michigan, as far as an athletic department, is shut down until further notice, so that could be a little while. As far as net rankings, Iowa sits at 33, Northwestern at 30, so that shows you the importance of tomorrow night's game. And then next week, Ohio State has an 11 net right now, so 33, you're in pretty good shape right now, Coach, but that could even get better and probably will with each Big Ten game just because, as you mentioned, it's a tough competition for the most part.
Absolutely. It's just going to get better, and especially if we get some good wins in here, some quality wins like tomorrow night would be against Northwestern. Not only do they have a 30 net, they're ranked in the top 25, and they beat us at their place. And it was tied at halftime, and we really had a lot of turnovers in that game. Caitlin Clark had her season low 8 points in that game. Monica Sonano shot 13 for 14, had a fabulous game. McKenna Warnock had, I think, like 17 rebounds, crazy number. So we did some good things in that game, but we didn't shoot as well as we're capable of. And Caitlin was off that night, and that's to be expected. She's a freshman, for goodness sake. Somebody asked me if I was surprised. I'm surprised she hasn't had more games like that. I mean, again, we have to remind ourselves that she is a freshman playing at the very highest level and playing the toughest position, arguably, the point guard position. So give her a break once in a while, right? This Northwestern game, it'd be really nice to have a split against them just for the standings and for NCAA tournament, as well as increasing our net.
And you look at that first Northwestern game, and you did a terrific job defensively on Lindsay Pulliam, who can really get going, averaging almost 16 points a game, but only had 6 in that first meeting. So the defense was very good against the second leading scorer for Northwestern.
She was the recipient of our triangle and 2 defense that night. And so it really, really slowed her down. But other people stepped up, and that's what you don't want to do when you're running a triangle and 2, is people that are normally shooting 10%, 20%, 15% from three-point range all of a sudden come out and be 50% three-point shooters. So that kind of happened to us. Some kids stepped up on their home court that hadn't made, there was one girl that had made 2 threes all season long and made 3 against us in that one game. So those are situations, statistically, you kind of play the statistic line, right? You go with statistics, and sometimes the statistics don't always work out in your favor. But I was happy with how we did on Lindsay Pulliam. I will tell you, though, Lindsay Pulliam, she was preseason Big Ten Player of the Year candidate. There was 3 candidates, 3 players that kind of co-received that honor. She was one of them, and she didn't have a good game against us, as you mentioned, and we did a good job against her. But after that game, I'm going out to our bus, and she's in the gym shooting again. She had the gun, the rebounder set up, and she was out there shooting shots immediately after playing a 40-minute basketball game. That's the type of a kid you like to have on your team.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And that shows you the determination and the will to want to get better, even after Northwestern had a victory. The Cats had won 4 in a row, but lost the last time out against a very good Indiana team, 74-61. And again, Northwestern didn't shoot the ball that great. They haven't this year. Just against you in Evanston seems to be the outlier so far in the Big Ten.
Yeah, it does kind of seem like the outlier. And, actually, again, Indiana, terrific team, right? Ranked in the top dozen in the country. I think their net, you probably have it right in front of you, Rob, but is very, very high. I think it's like 10, 11. I think it's 11 is Indiana's the last time I checked.
They're up to 8.
Northwestern actually had a 13-point lead in the third quarter, midway through the third quarter. And then Indiana wins that game by 10. It's a situation where Northwestern went stone cold, and Indiana really took advantage of their inside presence, just like we did last time with Monica.
Yeah, Northwestern, of course, their net is at 30, and Indiana has the best net of any Big Ten team at 8. Maryland at 10. Ohio State, as we mentioned, at 11, and then Michigan at 12. We've got quite a few Facebook and Twitter questions, and we want to get to those, but we also want to remind you that Dodge Street Tire and Auto, locally owned and operated, has been voted best of the area for the 10th consecutive year and is a proud supporter of Iowa women's basketball. Visit us for all of your automotive needs, including the best deals on Goodyear and Toyo tires. Dodge Street Tire and Auto, celebrating over 25 good years in Iowa City. We'll get to our questions with Coach Bluder right after the break. More Hawk Talk coming up.
Is your vehicle worn out from winter? Before spring arrives, get a free vehicle inspection from my dad, Brian Sekafetz, and his staff at Dodge Street Tire and Auto. For over 25 good years, they've been your family-friendly, dependable, and honest neighborhood auto repair shop. That's why their loyal customers have once again voted Dodge Street Tire as the best in the area. Don't be left out in the cold. Dodge Street Tire and Auto at the corner of Dodge and Church Street.
Feel the power. Feel the speed. Feel extreme. Hawk fans, get extreme. Powered by Mediacom. And experience streaming so real you can feel it. Whether you're live streaming the game or streaming your favorite series. With supercharged speeds up to 1 gig and powerful whole home Wi-Fi, you're in it. Our 100% gigabit technology network was built to take you further. Get ready to feel it. Extreme. Powered by Mediacom.
The Iowa Lottery's new cash game is clearly different.
What? How?
Because you can see right through it.
How can you see through a ticket?
Well, it's clear.
What's clear? I don't understand.
I'm being as clear as I can, just like the new scratch ticket.
Okay, I'm still unclear. How much cash can you win?
$100,000 top prize on the ticket plus $200,000 in Play It Again prizes.
That's a lot of cash.
Clearly.
The new cash game from the Iowa Lottery. The difference is clear. Visit ialottery.com for rules and complete details.
Woohoo!
MidAmerican Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Hi, I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director at Oak Knoll. It's that time of year when shoveling snow and putting down ice melt is here. This is the perfect time to consider moving to Oak Knoll. Let us do the shoveling and winter maintenance for you. Move-in ready 1 and 2 bedroom apartments are available now. Call me today for your personal tour and learn how you can come home to Oak Knoll. Give the gift of a lifetime, the gift of life care.
They say nothing in life is free. Well, we're here to tell you they're wrong. Because when you switch to US Cellular, you can get the latest 5G phones for free with no hidden requirements. Yes, you heard that right. The Samsung Galaxy S20 FE or the Google Pixel 5 for free with no hidden requirements. As in zip, zilch, zero. And the best part is, 5G is included on all plans. So go ahead, make the upgrade to 5G today. US Cellular. Terms and conditions apply. See store or uscellular.com for details.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder as we get set for Iowa and Northwestern inside Carver Hawkeye Arena tomorrow. That is a 5 o'clock tip, so we'll be on the radio at 4:45. So not a little drive time tomorrow. So on your way home from work, tune in and hope for a Hawkeye victory then at Minnesota on Sunday afternoon. We'll get to our YouTube and Twitter questions in just a moment, but first want to go back to the phones and bring in Anthony from Des Moines. Anthony, how are you?
I'm pretty good, Rob.
Good.
Coach, how you guys doing this evening?
Wonderful.
Good, Anthony. Thank you.
Coach, I do have a question for you. With all your players that you had throughout your coaching career since you came to Iowa, I just kind of want to know what your players are doing nowadays. How often do you ever keep in touch with them? And another question I have for you, Coach, what are your concerns against Northwestern tomorrow night at Carver Hawkeye Arena? And I'll hang up and listen. And, guys, go Hawks.
Go Hawks, Anthony. Thank you.
Thanks, Anthony. Players are all different. Some of them you keep in contact with more than others, and it really kind of depends on what they want in the relationship following. But I will tell you that we probably all, as coaches, all have a separate bank account for wedding presents and baby presents, because I feel like we're constantly giving out those gifts, which we love to do. So, our players are doing a variety of things. I can just start naming some, but there's been so many. I mean, we have got players that are teachers, coaches. In the last class, Amanda Olinger is working at Rockwell Collins. Mackenzie Meyer just finished up school and is in that job search right now. Kathleen Doyle is playing professional basketball for the Indiana Fever. She's actually going to broadcast a game coming up here.
All right.
She is home from Poland, and I will look and see what the game is. So if anybody wants to tune in and listen to Kathleen Doyle, she will. She's going to be calling the game on the Big Ten Network between Ohio State and Indiana on Thursday night.
Nice.
So tomorrow night. So I'm excited about her. She was a communications major. And when she came home from Poland, I really thought this would be a good opportunity for her. And the Big Ten was kind of looking for some new young talent. We gave them Kathleen's name, and she's going to have her first game. So I listened to our game. Our game's at 5 o'clock. I'm sure this game is at 7 o'clock. So
right.
You can listen to them both on the Big Ten Network. And so excited for Kathleen to have that opportunity. Megan is still over in Poland playing. Her team is doing really well. Ironically, she has a little break right now. So she's flying home. She's flying to Minneapolis this weekend when we're going to be there. So we're going to have dinner on Saturday night. She's going to come to our game on Sunday. And she's just got a little 4 or 5 day break. Just fly home from Poland and fly back. So that's what she's doing. And it's an opportunity for us to see her and for her to give some good advice and some important words to our team on Sunday before we play Minnesota as well.
Well, Coach, no surprise, but boy, that really continues to build the legacy of Megan Gustafson to fly all the way across the world, basically, to come home for a few days and make sure that she gets to see some of her former teammates and, of course, the coaching staff. That's something special, and obviously she's a special player. And I saw on social media the other day, it was a year ago, that she had her jersey retired, and that was kind of fun to relive that.
Yeah, it really was. You're exactly right. I go into Carver and I look up there and see that, and it still kind of gives me goosebumps. And I'm just so glad that I got to really coach through that, live through that, be a part of that journey, because it was so fun. And she's a special player and a special human being. That's what makes Megan so great, is she was so humble. She was such a hard worker. She was a great teammate. She was no work at all. She was one of those kids that, really caused us no problems ever. Not that our players caused a lot of problems ever, but I mean, she was no work. And so it was just, that was just a dream come true to be able to coach Megan, and I'm looking forward to seeing her play this weekend. Her team's doing very well over in Poland. They're playing in the European Cup right now. Yeah,
there was one photo, and it was kind of the aerial shot of Carver Hawkeye Arena during that ceremony, and I had to take a few minutes and expand it because it was so nice to, at least for a couple of seconds, see a filled Carver Hawkeye Arena for a basketball game. And hopefully we'll get back to that sooner rather than later. But that was a special, special day.
Yeah, it really was. We had over 13,000 people there and had the ceremony after we defeated Michigan State. It was a great day, and our parents were there. Her sister was there. And I think that Iowa did that really, really well. I think our administration, our marketing department did just a fabulous job of just recognizing her greatness and being the player of the year. And now we have a men's player of the year. And so it's really exciting what Iowa is doing, really, and the talent that's coming out of our program in all the different sports. I'm not talking about just men's and women's basketball. I'm talking about all the sports. It's incredible. I mean, Lee Spencer in wrestling and a track and field is ranked in the top 10, I understand. I mean, it's just on and on. And it's just so much fun to be a part of an athletic department that's having so much success.
Yeah, winning is a good thing, and the Iowa Athletic Department is doing a lot of that. Let's go to Twitter. Samantha has a question about practice schedules, Coach. You mentioned, and most coaches do, really love practice. You spend most of the time at Carver practicing or in the practice gym, and which do you prefer?
I prefer Carver because we play in Carver. And this time of year, we almost all the time we're in Carver. Now, the exception would be if the men are having a game that night, then they're having the shoot-arounds in there. Or like there's a gymnastics meet in there. This coming Saturday, there's a gymnastics meet, and so that doesn't work out. Or it's either this Saturday or next Saturday. I'm getting my Saturdays mixed up right now. So, but if we had our druthers, we would go into Carver Hawkeye Arena.
And also on Facebook and sponsor tomorrow, it's going to be the Go Red for Women's game, or Go Red game. Of course, heart disease really is a big deal. Talked about men with heart disease a lot, but obviously it's a huge concern for women as well. And I've had a chance to do an interview that we're going to play tomorrow night, and it's a special awareness game too. And I know that you don't like red. I don't really like red, but kind of a special game, and can at least talk about red for one day.
Yeah, it's the one day we let our players wear red shoelaces. Not that they're begging to wear them anyway, but we will have the players in red shoelaces tomorrow. And really, what I'm looking forward to, well, first of all, this is an important event, and I just wish that we could have people in Carver Hawkeye Arena join us in, because it is a great awareness event, and I'm glad that this game will be on the Big Ten Network, because hopefully we can promote Go Red for Women and the research, the money that they're raising for heart disease for women, which happens to be the #1 killer of women. So we are very excited to join forces with Go Red for Women and try to do our part in just getting the word out about this great organization, and that encourage people to be a part of it. I'm a part of it. Coach Jensen's a part of it. Coach Fitzgerald's a part of it. We believe in this organization, and we've joined Go Red for Women, the organization, because we believe in this so much, and they do so much good work and raise money for research. So what I'm looking forward to, though, tomorrow is the introductions, because we have some unbelievable introductions happening for our women. We have heart survivors that are children that have taped and are going to introduce our players. And I can't wait for our players to see these wonderful survivors of heart disease, introduce them tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. Well, that will be something to definitely look forward to. And it's going to be a great night, as Heart Month is February, so leading up to this, tomorrow night's game brings some awareness to heart disease on Go Red for Women night against Northwestern Iowa and the Cats. And let's go to the YouTube chat room. John has a question about watching other games. Coach, obviously you're focused in on Iowa. You might catch another team during scouting video, and of course, shout out to your son, David, playing outstanding basketball for a very good team in Solon. So I know you're busy making sure you get to as many of those games as possible in his senior year. But do you ever just kind of flip around on the TV and run into other games, whether in the Big Ten or nationally? Yeah, I sure do. There's a lot of games that interest you that are, on ESPN as well as the Big Ten Network. But for instance, after we lost to Ohio State, I turned on the TV a couple of days later, Nebraska beat Ohio State. Then this week on Monday night, Maryland has a really tight game, but Ohio State beats them at the end. I enjoy watching those games. Now, I don't study those games like I do when I'm studying it for film, but I enjoy watching them, having them on. Of course, I love watching our Iowa men's basketball team. They're playing so well this year, and they're so much fun to watch because they have so many different weapons. I've really enjoyed watching my son play, and that's one thing that's been kind of nice about COVID. Is I haven't went out recruiting because we haven't been allowed to. And when I go out recruiting, I oftentimes miss a lot of my own kids' events. And so this year, I really haven't missed very many of David's games. I think I've only missed 2 this year. They're having a really good year. I'm really proud of them. They're 11-1. They've won 11 in a row. And David's having a lot of fun. So we had a senior night last Friday night, and I could not believe that my last child is playing in his, senior night game already. It's how can that happen?
Yeah, that's always an interesting night, isn't it?
Yes. Pretty emotional.
Yeah, it sure can be. But, boy, it sounds like Solon's playing great and could make for a pretty fun March, hopefully. And it's just great that Iowa high school basketball is getting through this seemingly pretty good. I've been to several games myself. And it's just great to see them out there playing because a lot of states, as you well know, Coach, are not playing any basketball yet.
Yeah, we've got several recruits over in Illinois, including one of our signees, and they are not playing in Illinois. Michigan is just getting started here in the next week. They've been delayed. They were supposed to start earlier. Colorado is just getting started, and those were our three signees are from those states, and they haven't played any games yet. So I really feel bad for them in their senior years. It's just not the way it was supposed to go down. Really glad in Iowa they've been able to play.
Yeah, no redshirting in high school, right? You got to move on, unfortunately. Hawkeye basketball is proudly sponsored by Wellmark, Blue Cross and Blue Shield, Iowa's hometown health insurer for over 80 years. Wellmark reminds Hawkeye fans to stay healthy, stay in the game. Of course, wear your mask, wash your hands, and get a flu shot. We'll be back with more with Coach Bluder on Hawk Talk after this.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Whether it's a commercial, residential, healthcare, or industrial project, Carpenters Union Local 1260 provides a professional and productive workforce on time and on budget. And Union Carpenters also have specialized COVID prevention training to allow for the safest environment possible. Since 1902, Carpenters Union Local 1260 has been building the University of Iowa, and that relationship continues today as a proud partner of Hawkeye Athletics. To find a union contractor and union carpenters for your next job, visit carpentersunionlocal1260.com or call 319-338-1638.
Expert care for sports injuries means getting back in the game sooner and stronger. I'm Dr. Brian Wolf, Director at University of Iowa Sports Medicine and Team Physician for the Iowa Hawkeyes. You should never play through pain. That's why our sports medicine experts are here for you with same day, next day, and evening appointments. For imaging, therapy, or surgery, choose the team the Iowa Hawkeyes choose. Schedule a visit at uihc.org/sportsmedicine.
Hi, Hawkeye fans. Gary Dolphin here for UPS. Your customers want more from your business. You've got to make more happen, whether they're in Coralville or on the other side of the world. Globally or locally, UPS is building solutions to help businesses give their customers exactly what they want. More made easy. UPS, the official logistics company of Iowa Athletics.
Hi, I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director at Oak Knoll. It's that time of year when shoveling snow and putting down ice melt is here. This is the perfect time to consider moving to Oak Knoll. Let us do the shoveling and winter maintenance for you. Move-in ready 1- and 2-bedroom apartments are available now. Call me today for your personal tour and learn how you can come home to Oak Knoll. Give the gift of a lifetime the gift of life care.
Here in Iowa, corn is more than our livelihood. It's our way of life. We use it to feed our livestock, helping us raise healthy pigs, cows, and chickens. We use it to make ethanol, helping us power a prosperous, clean-burning future. We use it to nourish our families, helping us stay strong generation to generation. And the more we use it, the more it boosts our economy, helping elevate the lives of all Iowans. You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder. We've got about 15 minutes left to go. Don't forget Iowa and Northwestern tomorrow from Carver Hawkeye Arena. Let's check the U.S. Bank scoreboard. No games in the Big Ten tonight. Pretty full slate tomorrow. Of course, Northwestern and Iowa. Michigan State at Maryland. That should be a good one. Purdue is at Minnesota. Penn State at Illinois, Ohio State at Indiana, and Wisconsin at Nebraska, and then Rutgers and Maryland, and that game is postponed. So, as far as the Big Ten scoreboard, nationally, Texas Tech is behind West Virginia. West Virginia 25th in the country, 36-25. Number 6 Stanford is at Washington State later on. And one in-state game going on tonight, the Drake Bulldogs 39 and the UNI Panthers 20. That in the second quarter. Of course, the Hawks took care of both Drake and UNI before Big Ten play got going. And that's always a fun battle with the in-state games and in the Valley going on tonight. Coach, we got a question from YouTube. Just kind of wondering about the bench. We haven't seen Lexi Civilian play for a couple of games. Just wondering if she's okay, and then just how you've kind of attacked the bench as far as different matchups with opponents.
Yeah, Alexis had some ankle surgery in the off season and never has come back very strongly from that, unfortunately. And my heart aches for this kid because she's a senior, fifth-year senior, captain of our team, starter from last year, and now she's not playing very much. And that's a tough situation. I met with Lexi a little bit over a week ago and just talked about it with her because I really admire her and how well she's doing this. I mean, she's still staying positive. She's, with her captain duties, doing a great job with that. She's trying to help the younger players adjust. And but I will tell you, she had a good week this week. This was the best week I've seen her, and so hopefully she's making her way back here and going to get some minutes coming up here. Right now, we're kind of looking at that same starting five that we've had. And, like Sharon and Logan have been our backup fives, and Logan has been our backup 4. And then really it's kind of between the 1, 2, and 3. We got a lot of options there. Megan Meyer has come in and done a really good job. Tomi Taiwo, who wasn't playing well at the beginning of the year, is playing really well now. And she's been coming in at the backup of the 3 and the 2. Megan at the 1 and the 2. Then you have Lauren Jensen. You have Alexis Civilian. You've got Zion Sanders. So, there's a lot of players that have really not very much spots there to fill in. And so it's a tough situation. And it's really hard for a senior that's had a lot of experience. And I'm just so proud of Alexis and how well she's been handling this. And, boy, you couldn't ask for a better kid. And she's a terrific captain.
Yeah, no question about that, and has had a terrific career so far for the Hawkeyes. Let's go back to the phones. Aubrey from Emmitsburg. Aubrey, how are you this evening?
I'm doing good. How about you
Good.
guys?
Wonderful.
My question tonight is, Coach Bluder, would you comment on the extra year of eligibility that players can accept? A couple of my questions are, is there a deadline when the players have to decide this, and how does this affect the overall scholarships a school can give? And I'll listen to your comments. Thank you.
Well, those are great questions, Audrey. So this is the NCAA threw this one at us. It's not going to be easy to navigate. There's going to be a lot of situations that are very unusual. So what they've said is that this is a blanket waiver year, meaning this year doesn't count against their 4 years of eligibility. It does not count at all. So basically, your seniors could all come back for another year. And next year, the NCAA will allow you to go over the 15 scholarship limit that we have. The men have a 13 scholarship limit, so they'll be able to go over the 13 for 1 year. But then, after that, you have to stick to your 15 in women and 13 in men. So the problem becomes not next year, but it's the year after that. So the year after that, we have 3 seniors, Monica, Logan, and Tomi. Well, we have 3 commitments coming in. So really, you can't have all 3 come back. You'd be over your limit. And so those are some conversations that each coach is going to have with those players. It's a tough situation. First of all, to see if they want to come back, and then if you have room for them to come back. So it's going to be hard to navigate. And I really think who it's hurting is the kids coming out of high school because there's less scholarships available. not the kids that have committed, but the ones that haven't committed yet, are really, there's going to be a big log jam in there because, you're planning on people graduating and leaving your program, and now they may not be, and you may not want some of them to be leaving, right? And so all of a sudden you've got these commitments, like we've got 3 signed for our senior class that are coming in next year. And then we also have 3 committed for the following year. And so you can see there's a log jam there, and who it's going to hurt is not I don't think the seniors next year are the seniors that have signed, because again, that year doesn't count. It's the juniors and sophomores that are going to see this, and hopefully it all kind of balances out for the freshmen that are in high school right now. But sophomores and juniors are going to see a logjam here and less scholarship available.
Yeah, not an easy situation, and we'll be back with our remaining moments with Coach Bluder after the break.
Share common traits: integrity, reliability, hard work, and innovation. Your Better Business Bureau knows championship companies. We conduct background checks and listen to consumers around Iowa and Illinois, so we know the true character of these companies. Let the BBB match you with a championship company when you're hiring a contractor, using a business, or need a service. The Better Business Bureau is an Iowa nonprofit serving our neighbors for over 80 years. BBB help and information is free. You'll find us at bbb.org/Iowa.
Hi, I'm Gary Dolphin, and if you want your home to be exceptionally comfortable during these cold Iowa winters and hot, humid summers, you need to turn to Dave Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Lennox has been serving Iowa consumers since 1895, when Dave Lennox built his first furnace in Marshalltown, and Lennox is still building its high-efficiency furnaces and air conditioners there today. For the best home comfort system you can buy, it's Lennox and your local Lennox dealer. Lennox and the Hawkeyes. Now there's a winning combination.
College basketball is back on SiriusXM. On Big Ten Radio, there's live coverage for every college basketball team in the conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along online or on the SiriusXM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now, as a college student, you can stream your first 3 months of SiriusXM for $1. Fees and taxes apply. See other details and subscribe now at SiriusXM.com/Big Ten Basketball.
Fans, if you want to give your taste buds the thrill of a dramatic, fun-filled victory, try Blue Bunny Loaded Sundaes. With a roster of all-star flavors, Loaded Sundaes have tons of toppings, swirled in deliciously soft ice cream. Even better, they come straight from the freezer, so you can grab one and get right back to the game. The next time you're in the freezer aisle, let your fun side act as head coach. Get Blue Bunny Loaded Sundaes, available now at your local grocery store.
Experience the benefit of Blue with a Medicare supplement plan from Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield. With our plans, you'll enjoy nationwide access to care, optional dental, vision, and hearing coverage, and more. Call 1-888-616-8927 or go online to wellmark.com/Medicare plans. You may even qualify for a special household discount. This is the benefit of Blue. Wellmark Blue dental product available to Iowa residents only. Must reside in the service area of the plan. Wellmark Medicare supplement insurance plans are not connected with or endorsed by any government agency.
Like any winning team, it takes every part of EMC Insurance Companies working together to successfully ensure that our agents, policyholders, and employees can count on EMC. And they do. They count on our broad range of insurance products and services. They count on our superior level of personalized service, and they trust that we will continue to be a financially stable partner, just like we have been for more than 100 years. All of this makes EMC one of the nation's premier insurance companies, and that's something you can always count on.
Hawkeye basketball brought to you by Oakdale. Looking to downsize from your family home? The new Oakdale East Campus is now open and offers many unique amenities for your active lifestyle. Call 319-351-1720 or visit oakdale.com to set up your personal tour. Oakdale, of course, a proud supporter of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Coach, Iowa and Northwestern, and some of the concerns for Northwestern. I know they play a little bit different than a lot of teams in the Big Ten as we wrap things up here tonight.
They're a team that plays exclusively a matchup zone defense, which is a little bit more unusual. Nobody else in the Big Ten really plays this kind of defense. So it's always a little bit getting ready for them. They do a good job of stopping our transition game because they're going to be picking up in a three-quarters press after every made basket and dead ball. They've got. We all know about Lindsay Pulliam, how great she was, but I think Veronica Burton really makes this team tick. She leads the Big Ten in steals, or has been the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. She's averaging 17 points a game. She's shooting 39% from three, so just a terrific player, and they're well coached.
All right, Coach. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the pregame show. Iowa and Northwestern tomorrow, 4:45, along the Hawkeye Radio Network. Good night.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield IMG College, this has been Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder, brought to you by Oak Knoll, an active life care community, also brought to you by Bud Light. Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Hy-Vee, save time and shop online with Hy-Vee Aisles Online. Go to HyVeeAislesOnline.com. Governor's Traffic and Safety Bureau by the Iowa Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau, who reminds you to click it or ticket day or night. And by U.S. Bank, helping individuals and businesses work toward their financial goals. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. The preceding has been a Learfield IMG College presentation of the Hawkeye Sports Network.